How's it going, folks? Welcome back to Galactic Tactics, your home for all things Twin Suns in Star Wars Unlimited. I'm Caleb. Welcome, and we have some exciting news. We have the kind of beginnings of spoiler season. I think they said on the live stream they're not quite doing spoiler season yet, but they gave us a nice little preview for everything coming up in Shadows of the Galaxy. The whole kind of premise of that set is the underworld, Mandalorians, and just general crime. So crime, bounty, those sort of things. And today we're going to be looking at the leaders that they just previewed, the Mandalorian himself, Din Djarin, as well as Moff Gideon. So I'm super excited to talk about these guys. This is kind of, with all decks, the leaders are the core of your Twin Suns deck. So let's get right into it, talking about, let's start with the Mandalorian. So the Mandalorian, sworn to the Creed. He is a leader on the ground, Mandalorian bounty hunter, yellow-white, and let's see. So when you play an upgrade, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, exhaust an enemy unit with 4 or less remaining HP. So obviously this is going to be an upgrade deck, kind of upgrade Voltron. That's really what you're kind of building around. And really looking at the cards we have now, they're not terrible. So we've got a decent amount of upgrades, but I think what's really going to set the Mandalorian apart is when we get the bounties in. So kind of starting off with the first bounty previewed, we have Wanted, which is a 0-drop. So when I read this, it's cost 0 and exhaust an enemy unit with 4 less HP remaining. I guess kind of before we get into the bounty part of it, this is health. It's not cost, so you can exhaust any card. So there is a little bit of, kind of cost to it, but it's not, focused in on, just small units or large units. It's anything with 4 less health. So you can kind of beat down into something. If you know you're not going to be able to take it out, play an upgrade and exhaust that unit that you need to get out. So with the first enabler, bounty, 0-drop, yellow, so right in the Mandalorian's colors. Attached unit gains bounty, and when you, the way bounty works is when a unit has bounty and you defeat it, then you get to capture the bounty, which is what's stated. So for bounty, ready to friendly resources. So it's something you want to do after you play other cards. It just gives something +0/+0, but it gives you that bounty tagline. So really, 0, exhaust unit. If you defeat another unit or the unit that's connected to, then you get 2 resources back. So it's kind of like a free for 2 almost, with a few loopholes in it. Another one, snapshot reflexes. This actually has the Mandalorian on it. 1-drop, so super cheap. 1-drop, exhaust an enemy unit. Give something +1/+1, attack with that unit. So if you start thinking about the combo potential for these cards, it's going to kind of get not necessarily out of hand, as you can only do it once with the Mandalorian, as you need to exhaust him. But when you deploy him, he becomes 6 cost because you need 6 resources. 4/7 Mandalorian Bounty Hunter. When you play an upgrade, you may exhaust an enemy unit with 6 or less remaining HP. So 1, you get to exhaust bigger units. This should hit a lot of leaders, especially if you hit them once, you should be able to hit all the leaders, but then it's repeatable. So if you do this kind of towards the late to mid game, you Voltron down a whole lot of event cards, and then you just kind of exhaust their entire board, swing away. Then the way they can hit you, you're really kind of turning up the clock for yourself. Super awesome. Very control-y. And kind of thinking about the control, kind of looking at a few other upgrades we have now. There's not a lot. So, I mean, there's Traitorous, which would be kind of cool. Traitorous, if you don't know, it's a 5 and a green. When this upgrade becomes attached to a non-leader unit that costs 3 or less, take control of that unit. When this upgrade becomes unattached from a unit, the unit's owner takes control of it. So it's kind of like a 5-drop, take control of something, exhaust something else, and then you're really kind of clearing up the board a little bit. There's also the Mandalorian's rifle. I mean, you're going to definitely do that. It's another one of the preview cards. 3, and just heroic, attached to a friendly non-vehicle unit. When played, if attached unit is the Mandalorian, he captures an exhausted enemy non-leader unit. Put the captured card face down under him until he leaves play. So capturing is another one of the new mechanics that we'll have in the set. It's kind of like an exile in Magic the Gathering. So you take the card, you capture it, you stick it in or underneath that card to show that that unit has captured that other unit. And whenever that unit leaves play, then your opponent gets it back. So it's not the entire game, but it is a neat way to kind of control the board a little bit more. And then again, you're also reading this as 3-drop, exhaust the unit. If you connect it to the Mandalorian, which you have in this deck, get rid of another unit. So you're kind of do that 2 for 1. So there's 2 big things on the board you need to get rid of. Is when politics come into play, you let people know like, hey, I can exhaust this, I can take this, what are we going to do as a table? This person's the arch enemy. That's when you definitely need to get those politics in. So super fun there. And then just kind of the other ones, you get access to the lightsabers. So if you build something with Luke and do Luke's lightsaber, that's an upgrade. Jedi lightsaber is an upgrade. Protector, another upgrade, a little bit more expensive unless you're playing blue, which you're not because the Mandalorian is yellow. So there's not a lot that we have right now, but definitely as we get into release, into spoiler season, which I will have, the entire time just kind of looking at my favorite cards, maybe doing once a week, just like a quick one just like this to kind of show or talk about, what I'm super enjoying, uncut, just like really talking about it off, kind of like I'm doing now. So we definitely looking at that through spoiler season. Super excited. Make sure you subscribe so you know when we do that, as we're talking about how everything works in a multiplayer format. So overall, the Mandalorian himself, I like. Definitely super strong on a one-on-one, but he's definitely, as soon as you get him out, going to be targeted, as he can get out of hand quick. I'm really betting on them adding a whole lot more events, a lot more bounties, a lot more things to really enable this kind of play, whether that be upgrade Voltron or just more events with bounties to kind of play into that. So I can see the Mandalorian getting a lot stronger in a multiplayer format. So up next, Moff Gideon. He is green and a black, so remember these are both the starter decks that you're going to get. So everyone's going to have access to these just by getting those 2 starter decks, which is super awesome. I've also kind of noticed that the best leaders are in the starting deck. I guess kind of starting off the set, you got Luke, you've got Vader. Both of those super strong cards, especially in multiplayer. Luke giving everybody the shields, Vader just kind of pinging damage, popping off shields when you need to. I've had people started doing that to me, just kind of popping that 1 damage to get rid of my shields. Super nasty. But definitely, I think that the stronger ones are from the starter deck. We'll see if they kind of keep doing that, or if the other leaders that they have with the set are just as strong, as they kind of realize, the power level of everything. Hope to also see, some newer rare bases. As the last ones, they were kind of an afterthought. They've said that they were an afterthought. So we'll definitely see what happens. But getting back to the Moff Gideon. Moff Gideon, formidable commander, green and black. And for his action, attack with a unit that costs 3 or less. If it's an attacking unit, it gets +1/+0 for this attack. So it's kind of got Leia vibes. Just kind of giving that unit just a quick attack. Not too crazy until you deploy him. He is a 5, so you get that 5 resources. You can deploy him. 3, 6 Imperial official, so you get all the Imperial synergies with that. Check out all my decks with synergies like that. And then Overwhelm, when attacking an enemy unit, deal excess damage to an opponent's base. But here's where it gets really fun. So each friendly unit that costs 3 or less gets +1/+0 and gains Overwhelm while attacking an enemy unit. So Moff Gideon, definitely go wide. Kind of, I like the opposites as the Mandalorians go tall, get those upgrades, you know, maybe on one or two, make them super strong. Moff Gideon's go wide. And there are a lot of cards that this works with. I believe, like, I don't know, it's probably about 60. But just kind of going off, you know, you can use Del Miko. He's got that restore. Each event opponent plays costs 1 or more, and he's a 4/3, and he gets overwhelmed. So that's just nasty in itself. If you're using, you know, the 2/1B surgical droid, you know, just on attack, heal 2 damage, but he's also a 2/3. That's super cool. General Taj, when played, give an experience token to each of up to 3 trooper units. So if you have a lot of troopers, you're playing in green, like he gets the buff, plus he's buffing everything else. It's super crazy. And then this also works with Emperor's Royal Guard, as he is an official. While you control with the Emperor's Guard, 3 green and a black, it's a 3/4. While you control an official unit, this unit gains Sentinel, so he's a 3/4 when he's a Sentinel. Then when he attacks, he's a 4/4. With Overwhelm, doing that extra damage. This also works with, if I can find him, I want to make sure I say everything right. General Veers. So General Veers, he's a 3 and a black, 3/3. Other friendly Imperial units get that +1/+1. So you got that big anthem, especially if you're going wide with this deck. And then he's a 4/3 with Overwhelm when he attacks. So that's a nasty combo right now. General Veers plus, you know, giving everybody that attack bonus. You give all of your attacking units +2, and Overwhelm can get super crazy. And then kind of my favorite, and it works really well because, I mean, they made this card to go with Moff Gideon. Phase 3 Dark Trooper. So it is a 3 green and a black, 3/3 Imperial Droid Trooper. So it gets that Imperial, also gets that Trooper. So you can get those synergies in there as well. It has Sentinel. And then when combat damage is dealt to this unit, so anytime it gets hit, 1 damage, 2 damage, doesn't matter. And you're kind of thinking about it, you're also attacking into units, so it's going to probably take a damage every time you attack with it. So when combat damage is dealt to this unit, give an experience token to this unit if it survives the damage. So if you go in, you know, you're attacking something, you know, kind of when they're small units, it's only got, you know, 1 power, 2 power, you're going to survive. Get an experience token, make it a little bit stronger. That's super cool, super abusable, especially if you're restoring with that Del Miko, if you have any kind of restore at all. So you definitely want some restore in here to just kind of keep your go wide going. I think this is super fun, super powerful. My hunch, they might add some like token units. Maybe we'll see. That'd be kind of cool to kind of go with that go wide deck, you know, just kind of have trooper units, rebel units to go wide with. That'd be cool. So maybe like possibly we might see like maybe an event card that stays put that creates a token, like a token trooper every turn. That'd be super cool. Who knows? I'm just speculating here. Kind of theory craft, have fun with it. But definitely, I give both of these, you know, kind of at their current states, 6, 7 out of 10. You know, if we need to give it a numeric scale or anything, both of them, we're going to really need to wait on the set themselves to figure out, you know, what's going on, what's their place. They have a little bit going for them. Moff Gideon definitely has more that he can use right now with those smaller units, and going wide. So definitely with this next set, it's going to help him out a lot. Super excited to see both of them. Super excited to play with both of them. Like I said, this is a quick video. Just wanted to talk about the cards, get something out real quick. Again, super excited. Make sure you like, subscribe, so we can keep talking about the cards. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the leaders as well. If you're excited for them, maybe some play styles that you're hoping you see as well. Until next time, may the force be with you. Happy playing.